Hello everyone, I am BowserJrXD, and welcome to Professor Layton in the Curious Village. I've been uploading a lot of Zack and Wiki videos recently because I really wanted to get back into that speedrunning stuff. And I have... at the moment of this recording, 20 of the 25 speedrun records possible for the game. There's 4 levels where I don't have speedrun record for it, and I would be doing Super Mario 64 right now if for the fact that the way my TV is, I can only have X number of things plugged in at one time, so I can't plug in my Switch and my computer. I mean it's charging stuff in order for me to record. I just don't have enough outlets due to the fact that my basement is being fixed because of leaks. So what better than to do stuff on my computer? And thus, a game that I was actually going to do before, but I kind of rage quit when I couldn't solve the last puzzle. And this is a puzzle game primarily, and that's how I'm going to be doing it. So, this is a, this game had 2 main versions, the US version and the UK version, and I am playing the UK version because I think one of the voices is more fun to use. I'll be using my real name, because why not?
The things we saw that day in the village became a secret we would have to keep from everyone for the rest of our lives. Because, you see...
This is a DS game, by the way. If you can't tell from the top and bottom screens.
I don't understand, Professor. Why are we going to help solve an inheritance dispute?
Luke, my boy, do you really think I would take on such an ordinary request as that? Oh no, this is an altogether unique and exciting situation, and it has piqued my intellectual curiosity. But I suppose it would be best to explain the case before we arrive at our destination. 2 months ago, Baron Augustus Reinhold passed away. Shortly after his death, his will was disclosed. The contents of it were fascinating, to say the least. The Reinhold family treasure, the golden apple, is hidden somewhere within this village. To whomever successfully locates this treasure, I offer the whole of my estate. Naturally, those who attended the reading of the will immediately set out in search of the golden apple. But in the end, everybody came back empty-handed. It turns out that no one had even heard of such a treasure existing, until its mention in the will.
Wow, that's some puzzle, all right.
Quite. Augustus Reinhold staked his entire fortune just to create one more puzzle before his death. What a perplexing individual. I wish I could have met him while he was still alive.
It certainly sounds like you two would have got along, Professor. By the way, just what is this golden apple, anyhow?
Some speculate it's a rare antique, while others say it could be a gem. Yet its identity remains elusive. But Luke, I can't shake the feeling that this matter is linked to some larger mystery, something huge.
Aha! Is that your famous intuition at work again, Professor?
Well, our first step is getting to town.
This is all so exciting. I hope Sam Myster is ready for the famous archaeologist and puzzle-solving detective, Herschel Layton.
Oh, Luke, you know as well as I do that I am no detective. Augustus Reinhold's wife, Lady Dahlia, has asked me to investigate the situation. It seems she came across my name by chance when reading an article about me in the papers.
And you immediately decided to take her up on her request?
Oh, well, Luke, a true gentleman never refuses the request of a beautiful lady.
If you say so, Professor.
We should be nearing the town by now. Look at the map in the envelope and help me with directions.
Right you are, Professor. What in the... What's this?
Lady Dahlia seems to have given us a test. She wants to see if we're capable of cracking the mystery surrounding the Reinhold fortune. Care to give it a go, Luke?
I'll do my best. A puzzle like this should be no problem for the apprentice of the great Professor Layton.
Very well then, Luke. I'll leave this one to you. Think of it as a warm-up for things to come.
Now let's get into the gameplay. Puzzle number 1. Where's the village? Worth 10 picarats. Picarats indicate the difficulty of a puzzle, and you get the picarats the puzzle is worth after you finish it. Although it will go down if you get incorrect answers. Well, no, if you get incorrect answers. My village is on a road that leads to no other village. I look forward to seeing you there. Use your stylus to draw a circle around the right village and then touch submit. Yes. You can also use hints if you want. You start with 10 hint coins, and each hint coin gives a hint. And there are 3 hints you can possibly get, and each one is more obvious than the last. But there are a finite number of hint coins, only 200 in the whole game. We'll have to find the other 190. And there are more than 66 puzzles, meaning that you need to use them wisely if you plan to use them at all. And 10 picarats is the lowest possible starting amount, so that's something to keep in mind. Now, this town leads to this town, and this town is on a road that leads to this town. Which means it has to be this town.
Well, here's my guess. Layton's apprentice saves the day.
Yep. That's the only one that the car can go to, really.
There we go. Now we should be able to make our way to the village.
Right you are. We should see it on the horizon any moment now.
Huh? Professor? Do you mean to say you've already worked out the village's location?
I'm afraid I couldn't help myself. A basic puzzle like that is easy enough to solve with a glance. Anyhow, you'd best gather your things, Luke. We've arrived.
Professor Layton and the Curious Village. Let's take a minute to listen to this wonderful song. This is known as Professor Layton's theme. Starts it with this wonderful orchestral introduction, and then it just gets even better as the song goes on. Song only plays, I think, 3 times in the entire game, including this one. All credit goes to level 5 for the creation of this song. I do not own this song. I think it's a very underrated song. It's amazing. Alright, that's enough of that. Expect me to start mimicking the voices of the characters in cutscenes, and as well as me making up voices for every single NPC. And hopefully I'll have enough water to get through the game. So my voice isn't hoarse.
Interesting. It appears that this drawbridge is the entrance to the village.
And we're stuck on the outside. What should we do, Professor? Oh, look over there. There's a man standing on the other side of the river. Maybe he can help us.
Tap an area to investigate. Here we are.
It appears this drawbridge is the only way in or out of the village. Good day, sir. We'd very much like to gain access to the village. Could you please drop the bridge for us?
Do I look like the sort to go dropping the bridge for a bunch of fancy-looking outsiders? You got a lot of nerve.
We received a letter of invitation from Lady Dahlia. I don't suppose that changes things, does it?
From Lady Dahlia? Well, then I'd love to lower the bridge for you, smarty pants. But the engine is broken, and I can only move this blasted bridge with the hand crank. There's all these infernal slots to put the crank in, but I ain't got a clue which one to use. So, Brain Boss, you got any idea which one is the right one? Puzzle number 2, the crank and slot, 15 picarats. There's no way to lower the bridge and get across without inserting the crank into the correct slot. Choose the slot that fits the crank shown below. Obviously not this one, because that's a hexagon and that's a pentagon. And one of the square bits is entered into a corner, which is not for 2. So which means it has to be 1.
That should do it. Every puzzle has an answer.
Nice job. Now drop that bridge. That'll do it. Hold on a second. I'll let her down. Humph. I'm gonna say it again. I just don't feel right about letting outsiders in the same stare. But if you're Lady Dahlia's guest, I guess I'd better at least give her my regards here. And now, every puzzle you saw goes into your puzzle index, which means you can replay them whenever you want.
Yes, we finally arrived in St. Mystere. I'm so excited. I wonder what mysteries await us here.
Ha 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 ha. Well, Luke, we'll find out soon enough. Just be careful not to let your excitement cloud your ability to analyze your surroundings. I say, Luke, this is a perfect time to explain how to move about during our investigation. Give the shoe icon in the lower right corner of the touchscreen a tap with your stylus. After you do this, a set of arrows will appear on screen. Tap one to head in that direction.
That's simple for moving around. It's point-and-click adventure game.
So remember, when you want to move, just tap the shoe. Go on then, give it a try.
Now, let's talk to this dude.
What a dandy set of fellows you two are. Must be new to St. Mystere, eh? The name's Started Scarfin, and I've got some advice for you. Tap that barrel back there with your stylus. Don't ask questions, just do it!
This one. You found a hint coin.
Yeah, felt good, didn't it? Around these parts, that's what we call a hint coin. When you find yourself up on a really tough puzzle, you'll want a hint. Trust me, this one, fellas.
Oh man, I'm yawning.
And it's just those times when you'll want to use a hint coin to purchase a hint. Why do you think puzzle will be a breeze now, eh? Think again. There are a limited number of hint coins in this village, so don't go wasting coins on any old riddles. Because if you do, when you come across a real stumper, you'll be sorry. Really sorry. Mind you, hint coins won't always be hidden inside barrels. Check any item that seems suspicious. Got all that? Good. Be seeing you around.
Now, hint coins can actually be they don't have to be even an object. They can be like in an orifice of other kinds. But and I will be finding every single hint coin. There's another one inside this barrel and another one inside this little pouch. Anyway, we've got this old woman over here.
Oh, hello. Pleasure to meet you. Welcome to St. Mystere, where our local export is the puzzle. Oh, before I forget, you should know that every time you solve a puzzle, you earn a set number of picarats. The more picarats a puzzle is worth, the tougher the puzzle will be. They say lovely things happen when you gather enough picarats. Imagine that, a reward for solving puzzles. For practice, try this little hurdle your hat reminded me of. Think good and hard before you answer. Strange hats. These 4 top hats are all the same height, but the length of each brim is different. In either words, the hats are equally tall, but vary in width. One of these 4 hats is a brim in height that are the same height length. Which hat is it? And God, I just remembered how much I don't like this puzzle. B is obviously too short, and D is obviously too large. And that's a save state, because I don't remember which one. Alright, I'm using my finger to measure it out, using like the bands on my finger. Alright. I'm pretty sure it's A. Oh, something about hints. After you clear a puzzle, all 3 hints, if you go back to replay it in your puzzle index, all the hints will be available.
That should do it.
Yes!
Every
I played this
puzzle
game
has an
through
answer.
completely 3 times, yet I still don't remember. This is a very famous optical illusion. An optical illusion is a visual phenomenon where your eyes perceive things differently from... Yeah, let me read that. Thank goodness I have a fast forward button. Visual phenomenon when your eyes perceive things differently than they actually are. There are dozens of known optical illusions. What's the world coming to when you can't even trust your own eyes?
Oh, bravo! I think you've got the hang of this. If you try your options one by one, you'll eventually find the answer. However, you'll also encounter lots of puzzles that can't be solved by simply trying all the answers. If you answer them correctly, the picker rats you earn from a puzzle decrease. Tough stuff, huh? It goes to show you how important it is to think for yourself and find the answer on your own. Well then, best of luck to you. I'll be rooting for you too. Puzzle 3 is now your index. One more thing, for picker rats, the amount decreases by roughly 10% of the original value, from what I've seen. I've been thinking, Professor, should we be keeping a record of our investigation?
You have brought up a very good point, Luke. Let me explain on how to go about saving your game. First, tap your stylus in the trunk in the upper right corner of the touchscreen. This trunk contains all manner of information that you can access by tapping the icons. Touch the icon marked Save to save your game. Tap the journal icon to read over notes about our adventures in St. Mystere. Next, we have the puzzle index icon. Tap it to view all the puzzles you've encountered. Puzzles you've solved have a tick next to them. Puzzles you've seen but haven't solved are blank. You can retry any puzzles you've solved from the screen. To retry puzzles that you haven't solved yet, you must return to the actual site of the puzzle. Don't be afraid to use the items in the trunk to help our investigation. It'll be second nature soon enough. Enough explanation for now. Let's make our way to Reinhold Manor. An arrow marks our path on the map, so all we need to do is head in the correct direction.
Lead the way, Professor!
I clicked outside of the game. Chapter 1, Reinhold Manor awaits. Make our way to the Reinhold Manor on the east side of the village. And yes, I will save my progress. Now, before we do anything, we have mysteries now. I'll be reading these in the mysteries in Luke's voice and the journal entries in Layton's voice.
The late Baron Reinhold hid the golden apple in St. Mystere just before dying, and has promised to hold his fortune to the one who finds it. No one has any clue what the golden apple might be or where it is hidden.
And as for the journal entry... Oh yeah, also, this is what the hint coin icon looks like now. I'll come back to it after I've gotten 30.
A most fascinating letter found its way to me the other day. It came to me from one Lady Dahlia, widow to Baron Augustus Reinhold. Her letter details how an unusual object known only as the Golden Apple has decided how her late husband's fortune is split up. The entire matter sounds terribly interesting, and I've arranged for Luke to accompany me on a visit to St. Mystere, the site of the whole incident.
Alright, now, when we get into chapter 4.
Oh, hello. I'm Percy, St. Mystere's unofficial writer and residence. Reinhold Manor, you ask? Head up right up that road to the right. It's immense, so you know it when you see it. But before you go, why not try your hand at this puzzle I thought of?
See if you can work out which house is mine from the instructions I give you. I'll even sweeten the deal for you. If you manage to solve this puzzle, I'll tell you about this village. So how about it? You will try, won't you? After all, a writer is nothing without an audience.
Puzzle number 4. Where's my house? 20 picarettes. So this will be the toughest one so far. Can you find my house? Go out the front door of my place and turn left. At the first junction you come across, take a right. Turn right again at the following junction, and you'll come face to face with the morning sun. Circle my house. Well, so obviously you have to end facing east, which is to the right, because that's where the sun rises. If you turn left, then right, it means that you turn, if let's say you're facing up north, you turn left, and then at an intersection turn right again, you're facing east. So it has to be from a house with an entryway facing upwards, aka this one.
That should do it. Every puzzle has an answer.
Yeah, working backwards is the easiest way to solve this problem, which is why I did that. And then, yeah, I've already explained my reasoning.
Impressive. I thought I'd set out quite at the puzzle, but you made short work of it. Now for that gossip I promised you. The Reinhold family owns all the land this village is built upon. I hear they own all the buildings, too. I suppose you could say the village belongs to the Reinholds. Well, that's all from me for now, but rest assured that next time I'll have a harder puzzle for you.
Anyway, we got some stuff to get right. Yeah, it appears to be a clock tower. There's one in that window, another one in this barrel, and then the third one in this trash can. Now, this clock has a puzzle for us. Anytime you see that red exclamation point, it's a puzzle.
That clock tower looks rather worse for wear. Speaking of clocks, I've got just a puzzle for you.
I tell you, the Layton voice is really hard in my throat. Puzzle 5, clock hands, 50-50 picarettes. An ordinary analog clock has 2 hands, notice how they spell analog in UK, with the longer hand moving faster around the face of the clock. Assuming that the clock keeps perfect time, how many times do the long and short hands pass over each other between 12 noon and 12 midnight? Right. Right, this is when we have to draw your answer. So, so the clock will pass over each other, between like sometime in 1, sometime in the hours, like in the 2 or something, then the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6. Okay, I'm gonna clear. Across the 1, the 2, and the 3 hour, and the 4 hour, and the 5 hour, and like in the 6. And when I say the 6 hours, like 1:00 something, or 2:12, or 3:18, etc. So, well, not like that actually, but 1, 2, 3. Trying to make it as realistic as possible. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And when a group gets back to 11, the next time it's going to intersect with each other is actually at 12 o'clock midnight. So the correct answer, if I'm remembering correctly, is 10. All are different in the hours of 1 to 10 something. Yeah.
I did it!
Yes. Yeah, once an hour, but they start ending directly on top of each other. 12 and 11 do not count as a pass. Want to try it on a real clock?
Precisely the answer I was looking for, Luke. Well done, my boy.
Now, this is the first example of a puzzle that is different in the American version, because there are puzzles that differ. And this is a warning, most of the puzzles that differ in this manner are terrible in the American version. Good thing I have this already, and I actually specifically picked all the different puzzles on a as like its own like favorite section on my American version, because I have a beaten version on this as a US version. Digital digits is the equivalent for the US. Imagine a digital clock, the one shown below. How many times will the clock display 3 or more of the same number in a row over the course of 1 day? And the clock displays time on a 12-hour scale, not a military time, which means you have to multiply the number of combinations by 2 in order to count for AM and PM. Anyway, you've got 111, 222, 3:33, 4:44, and 5:55. Then you've got 10 o'clock for the 3 zeros. 11:10, 11:11, 11:12, 11:13, 11:14, 11:15, 11:16, 11:17, 11:18, 11:19, and 12:22. That's 17 combos multiplied by 2 means that the correct answer is not 37, it's 30. Is that good for you?
I think I've got it.
Also, that's, yeah, Luke's voice is different in the American version.
Layton's apprentice saves the day.
He sounds older. Anyway, that's that. Now back to your regularly scheduled UK version. I think that blended well when I moved. Anyway, let's go to the next screen.
Professor, look at that man standing in the street. He's blocking the path to Reinhold Manor. How terribly rude.
Perhaps he'll move for us, but I have a feeling he has no intention of doing anything of the sort.
We get some hidden coins, starting with the one in this pouch, the one in this window, and the one in the signboard. Now let's talk to this dude, Schnozzle.
Hold up. I've never seen you two here before. What's a couple of new faces like yourselves doing here?
We're here by invitation of the Reinholds. Now if you'll excuse us, we have business through the gate.
Business with the Reinholds, is that so? Something strange here. Yeah, you're a fishy pair. I don't trust you, that's for sure, but I'll let you pass if you can solve this riddle, see? Just to warn you, it's a tough one. Is it gonna be easy, is it? No way, definitely not gonna be easy.
Puzzle number 6, lightweight, 40 picarettes. Here we have 8 small weights that all look the same. However, one of the weights in the group is slightly lighter than the rest. Using the scale 2 times, you can find out which of these weights is lighter than the rest. So which weight is the light one? So the first thing you want to do is, I guess, there are multiple methods you can go, no. So you only get to use it the scale 2 times. First, you want to put, two sets of 3 weights on the scale. Okay, so 4, 5, and 6 is lighter than 1, 2, 3. Next, what you do, okay, I'm gonna set the other ones over here. Take one off and now set the scales to have 1 each. Weigh them again. 4 and 5 are the same, which means that 6 is the lightest one. If it was the case that you had the lighter one on there, it would show up as being lighter than 4 or 5, so that's how you'd know. And if 1, 2, 3 is equal to 4, 5, and 6, you compare 7 or 8 to see which one is lighter. But
Luke, here's my answer. Critical thinking is the key to success.
yeah.
Hey, not half bad. Pretty sharp bunch, aren't you? Pair of good sharp apples, the 2 of you.
So, have we satisfied you? May we pass now?
Yeah, of course you can pass. Move along, and you better make sure to give my regards to Lady Dahlia.
I need to get water after this. Anyway. One there. Another ton there. And finally...
And just who might you be?
My name is Layton, and this is my assistant, Luke. We received an invitation to visit Reinhold Manor.
Ah, yes. We've all been expecting you, Professor Layton. But, you'll have to excuse my skepticism.
with a C instead of a K.
Can't trust anyone these days, you know. For all I know, you could best be another hooligan in a top hat. So how do I know you're the real Layton? Did you hear that, Professor? The nerve of this fellow. Surely you aren't going to go through this after an insult like that.
Now, Luke, settle down. Sir, are you saying that you'd like to test me to see if I'm the real Professor Layton?
Precisely, Professor Layton. Now, if you don't mind, would you please solve this puzzle for me?
Puzzle number 7, Wolves and Chicks. Get the 3 wolves and 3 chicks seen below to the other side of the river while obeying the following conditions. No more than 2 animals can ride the raft at the same time. There must be at least 1 animal on the raft in order for it to move. If more wolves than chicks stay on either side of the river, the wolves will eat the chicks and you'll have to start over. You can move the raft as many times as you like, but this feat can be accomplished in as few as 11 moves. Pretty classic raft puzzle. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Okay, you bring 2 wolves over. You bring... Restart. 2 wolves go over. You bring this back. Oh no, I need something over. You bring a wolf and a chick over. Now... No. You bring a chick back over. You bring both... No, you bring both wolves over. You bring a single wolf back over. You bring 2 chicks across. You bring a wolf and a chick across. You bring both chicks across. You bring a wolf over. You put 2 wolves on. A wolf goes back. You load both wolves on, and then you've done it in 11 moves.
Luke, here's my answer.
There we go. Wonderful.
Critical thinking is the key to success.
Nah, there's no point in me trying to predict what he says. Yeah. There's several variations of this type of river crossing puzzle, and they've appeared in writings dating back to over 1,000 years ago.
Oh, do excuse my earlier rudeness. Let me show you to the manor. Everyone's waiting for you. Everyone? I was under the impression that Lady Dahlia was the only person expecting me. Right this way, please.
Right, anyway. Let's go across.
Is this the manor, Professor? It's positively gigantic! Just look at the size of it!
It certainly seems like we've come to the right place.
Chapter 1, clear! That stamp has Layton's face on it. In the American version, it says chapter cleared, if I remember. Or chapter complete instead. The professor and Luke finally arrive at Reinhold Manor.
Let's head in, shall we?
Yes, sir!
Now, before we go in, let's go back, because I forgot about something. Let's check the flower patch that Ramon was blocking with his abnormally large head and nose.
Look at those flowers! They sure are pretty!
Indeed they are. I'm sure someone put a lot of work into them. Oh, that reminds me. Would you like to hear about a puzzle about growing flowers?
You bet, Professor! Let's hear it!
Amazing how people get sidetracked so easily. Puzzle number 8, farm work, 20 picarettes. Alfred and Roland have been hired by a farm to sow flower seeds. They've been assigned a 4-hectare plot of land and split it in half so they can work independently. Roland starts from the east and Alfred from the west. Alfred can plow the land at a rate of 20 minutes per hectare. Roland takes 40 minutes to plow, but sows seeds at 3 times the speed Alfred does. If sowing seeds on the 4-hectare plot pays £100, how much of that money should go to Roland? Of course, they work at different rates. But it doesn't matter because the money is being divided by area. So, of course, half the money is going to go to Roland. £50.
How does this sound? I did it!
Yeah. Yeah, the beginning of the problem is they had to split the 4-hectare plot of land in half to work independently. So they have the same amount of work assigned them. Since each person did half the work, the pair splits the money down the middle.
Correct. Good thinking, Luke.
Now we gotta get some more hit coins, so... One there, another one right here, and that little speck on the path, and this one.
Welcome to Reinhold Manor. Thank you for coming. I am Matthew, butler and servant to the Reinhold family. Everyone is waiting upstairs for you. But before you go, I have a message from Lady Dahlia.
She has requested that you take a look at this puzzle. Please do not be taken aback. My lady has the strongest and strangest sense of propriety sometimes. Right, I try to remember. It's the old man voice I'm going for. Try moving the match. It's very important. Yeah, move a match, hold by its center, and drag it. Rotate a match, touch on the edge, and drag it. Puzzle number 9. One poor pooch. 35 picarats. The matches below are arranged in the shape of a dog. This poor little dog, he was just minding his own business when a car came barreling on the road and ran him over. Move 2 matches to change the picture so it shows the dog after the accident. All puzzles are a matter of perspective, so don't assume you're looking at this dog from the side by the time you're finished with this one. Yeah, this is one of the most horrible puzzles ever, especially when you consider... now we're going for the overhead view of the dog being splayed out on the road.
That should do it. Every puzzle has an answer.
A car flattened the poor dog. Let this be a lesson to you. Be aware of your surroundings when driving. That's absolutely correct. My commendations, sir. Again, I do apologize for the strangeness of the request. Now, please walk this way. We mustn't keep Lady Dahlia and company waiting. Before we go on, let's take a look at the wall.
Professor, look at these paintings on the wall here. It's a very nice portrait, isn't it? I bet that's the late Baron Reinhold pictured there. But what about this one, Professor? Who could this pretty girl be?
The 2 portraits are next to each other, so they're likely family. She's probably the Baron's daughter.
That's exactly right, sir. You are looking at a portrait of Flora, the late Baron's daughter. Pardon me for asking, but I couldn't help but notice your keen interest in art. Would you care to take this old frame with you? It used to hold the most wonderful painting. However, all that's left of it now is this small scrap. You got a painting scrap. The painting option has been added to the trunk. You can assemble the fragments of the old painting here. To access the painting, touch the trunk to open it, then tap the painting icon.
So this is a picture of that old painting then. How interesting.
Here we are. Just a piece of the painting to go to a screen where you can place your selected piece. By the way, this image down there is not what the portrait is. And you can also enter the placement screen by tapping the yellow arrow on the top of the selection screen. Return to the selection screen from the placement screen at any time by tapping switch. Move pieces on the placement screen with your stylus. Touch a piece in the circle that appears to slide the piece around. If there's a piece outside the circle, you can rotate the piece by drawing a circle with your stylus. Find all 20 pieces and reassemble the picture. When you put the whole painting back together, something good will happen. This is the game's version of a side quest. Right. This goes here. Going off of memory. And before we do anything else,
Bookshelves seem to line every wall of this estate. The Baron must have been quite the avid reader. It's important to keep your mind sharp, Luke. So why don't you give this puzzle a go?
puzzle number 10. 4 digits, 30 picarats. A, B, C, and D are single-digit numbers. The following equation can be made with these numbers. A plus C equals D. A times B equals C. C minus B equals B. And A times 4 equals D. Find the values of each answer and input your answer as a 4-digit number. A, B, C, and D. Okay. Since C minus B equals B, that means that C is 2 times B. It's just simple algebra. Okay, A times 4 equals D. Okay, so this is important. A times 4 equals D. Now, A and D have to be single-digit numbers. So that means A has to be 1 or 2, because anything higher than that would mean D equals 12 or higher. And it can't be 0, because that would mean that A and D would be the same, well, the same number, and I assume that they're not, that A, B, and C, D are all separate numbers. It also means that A can't be 1, because A times B would equal B, not C, if A is equal to 1. Therefore, we know that A is equal to 2. 2 times 4 equals 8, so D is equal to 8. So then 2, put these in. 2 plus C equals 8, so C is equal to 6. Final, and that also means that 6 minus B equals B, and A times B equals 6, so B is equal to 3. So our final total is 2. No. That's a 7? It's really dumb. Simple algebra, nothing more.
Well, here's my guess. Professor, I've solved it!
Heck yes!
Yeah, yes, I'm not going back to that again.
How did you like the puzzle, Luke? I hope it has prepared you for tackling more difficult puzzles.
This is another puzzle that is different in the American version. Alphabet. Alright, here's a quick and easy one. The first letter of the alphabet is A, and the letter B comes after the letter A. However, the letter you need to worry about is the last one. What's the last letter of the alphabet? It isn't Z. It's an age-old puzzle, and of course the answer is actually T, the last letter of the alphabet. Comes right after the E.
Well, here's my guess.
Professor, I solved it!
Layton's apprentice saves the day!
Yeah. Back here. Anyway, so we got a coin here, a coin here, the coin here. I should be close to 30 coins now, so.
Oh? Oh, you must be Professor Layton, I presume. It's an honor to make your acquaintance.
Oh no, the pleasure's all mine.
No!
Luke!
Come back, sweetie!
Honestly, why am I constantly surrounded by incompetence? This is a disaster.
Whatever's the matter?
Oh, this is simply terrible. My dear sweet baby, my Claudia.
Your Claudia?
Sweet, sweet Claudia, my little honeykins, my smoochy pie, my baby. Matthew.
Yeah, well, first of all, there's this puzzle in the chandelier.
Look, there's a puzzle hidden here, Professor.
There are 20 hidden puzzles in the game and stuff that you would never think of clicking on. Puzzle number 110, the vanishing cube. On the table below are 4 cubes made up of matches. Can you change 4 cubes to 3 by moving a single match? I don't know if I said it, but it's 20 pickets. Anyway, rather easy thing to do. Rotate this. And now it's a 3D, and now and voila, it's a 3D perspective.
I think I've got it! I did it!
Hallelujah!
Were you able to easily visualize the matchstick cubes as 3-dimensional objects? Yes. Yes, I was.
Piece of cake! Now let's go find more puzzles!
Puzzle 110, the vanishing cube is now in your index. No, I suppose I'll also get some of these coins, like the one in this flower pot, the one in this picture frame, and the one on the rug. That should get me over 30 with that last one. And I see that the icon is from missing a coin to a small pile. That is how it will look. Anyway.
The name's Simon. I'm Baron Reinhold's nephew. My father's little brother, Gordon there. Or rather, he was until he kicked the bucket, as they say. But I digress. So you're the famous Professor Layton. I thought you'd have more presents. Well, never mind that. I take it you won't mind if I throw a puzzle your way. It shouldn't prove difficult for men of your ability. If you're as good as they say, this shouldn't amount to much more than a distraction.
Arc and line. As shown in the diagram below, you have a quarter of a circle. Within this circle is rectangle A, B, C, D, which touches the edge of the circle at point D. Assuming that point B is located at the center of the circle, how long is diagonal line AC? Now this might seem really hard to do, but you don't need to know any trig, because it actually is quite simple. I'll give you like 5 seconds. Now, okay, let's get into it. So,
We have line A, B, C, D right there. Up now in a rectangle, opposite diagonals are equivalent in length. So this line that I drew, BD, should be equal to line AC. Good, good. Now, notice that BD goes from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle, which means that it's a radius, and we have a radius lined up right here, 5 centimeters plus 5 centimeters. Therefore, the length of diagonal line AC is 10 centimeters, right? Centimeters.
There we go. Another puzzle solved.
Yeah. I love that puzzle.
Ho-ho, it appears that you're the real deal, Professor. I apologize for doubting you there. It seems you're quite the mind for puzzles. A lesser man than I might consider jealousy to be a reasonable response. I think you should listen to Lady Dahlia.
Just like everyone else around.
You're Professor Layton, yes? My name is Gordon, the Baron's brother, and one of those who requested your services. I'd like to explain our situation further, but right now it's probably best to do as Lady Dahlia says.
Yeah, sure.
My lady, what is it? What in the world happened?
My little Claudia got scared and ran off. Didn't you see her dart out of the room?
I must have missed her. I'm terribly sorry, my lady.
Oh, you're just useless, aren't you? Professor, you didn't see which way my baby ran off to, did you?
Your baby, madam? If you are referring to that white cat, I saw it run out of that door a moment ago.
What? And you simply stood there and let her escape?
Well, she is a cat. They are animals, after all, and animals must run about from time to...
You fool! She is not just a cat. She has a name, and that name is Claudia Reinhold. She is a delicate flower, and she is simply a mess when I'm close by to comfort her. Matthew, I need you to find Claudia and bring her back immediately.
About this little inheritance problem of yours, Lady Dahlia.
That can wait. Can't you see that we have a more pressing concern on our hands at the moment? You could have stopped her, and you didn't. So you have a responsibility to find Claudia and bring her back. Setting the professor off to find a silly cat. The nerve! Who do you think you are?
Ha! Oh, it's fine, Luke. Besides, Lady Dahlia does have a point. It does seem we let Claudia run off. Madam, if you'll excuse us, we have a cat to track down.
Thank you, and please hurry. My Claudia is such a delicate flower. Even the coarse outdoor air might prove too much for her.
Noise at the Manor is added to your list of mysteries. Chapter 2, The Fugitive Feline. Lady Dahlia's cat has escaped. Search St. Mystere for the runaway feline. Alright, we got through Chapter 1 in how long? 43 minutes. That's a good enough reason for me to stop recording right there, because I don't think even a 45-minute video is kind of... 45-minute video is kind of pushing it. So, I'm going to stop there. Next time, Professor Layton and Akira's village, we're going to head off and find that cat. And maybe keep the episode length down a little more. See you guys then.